Okay, so one of the biggest questions I got on the Google survey was using Google Forms to track student data. And one way I use student forms to track student data is to compare pre-test scores with post-test scores to make sure kids are achieving at the levels where they need to be achieving. So the way I do that is I create two separate surveys, a unit pre-test score and a unit post-test score. The unit pretest is where, and I share these with my students right after they take the pretest or right after they take the post-test, and they get their scores back and they fill in all the forms. So I filled in 4 responses for each one, and the forms are exactly the same except for the last question is for the pretest, it's pretest, for the post-test, it's post-test. So now that we have filled it in and we have our pre-test score responses, if you click on responses, you can see the first name, the last name, and their score. The way you attach a Google form to a spreadsheet is there's this cute little green box, and when you hover over it, it says create spreadsheet in the responses section. You click on that and create new spreadsheet. I always rename my spreadsheet to unit pretest / post-test scores, because I'm going to use the same spreadsheet to track both sets of data. And then you hit create. The new spreadsheet will open and it'll have all of your criteria. It always includes the timestamp. You can sort this by, for example, by last name. So if you go to last name and you click on the little arrow, you can say sort sheet A to Z, and it'll rearrange everything. So that way it's all in alphabetical order. So if you're writing it down in your grade book, you can just bam, 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 copy it down. So say we've gone through our unit and I feel like the kids have really rocked this unit, and now we've taken our post-test. They've recorded their responses in the post-test score survey or form. I go to responses and I click on the little green box again. This time I'm going to use, instead of creating a new spreadsheet, I'm going to select an existing spreadsheet. Okay, and I hit select. This will open up a new window with all the spreadsheets you've created, and it'll have the most current one in the front. So unit pretest post-test, I click on that, it'll link it, and it'll open the new spreadsheet with my new data. Sorry. So I'm going to exit out of the old spreadsheet. So we're just looking at the new one, if the computer will work with me here. So now you have form responses 2 and form responses 1. Form responses 1 is your pre-test score, and form responses 2 is your post-test score. So what I normally do so that I can look at my data side by side is I go to form responses 2 and I copy this column. So I highlight what I want to copy. I hit Control C and I copy it onto form responses 1 in the next available column. That way it gives me my data points side by side, and I can say, okay, my kids did well, or they achieved the level that I was expecting them to achieve. So that's the easy way and the quick way to compare student data, and how to connect a Google form to a Google spreadsheet and connect 2 separate forms to one spreadsheet. So again, if you have any questions, just let me know, and I hope that this helps.